Down here. This strap makes this useless, unplayable. Jayadvaita Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayadvaita Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivrajapacharya Stotra Satashi Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Jamana Mai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Oh, right. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, let's get our place. We're reading from Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Ādi-līlā, chapter 4, 29 and 30, I think. Yes, 29. I was told 29 and 30. What's the real story? This child is not going to be happy here, Mataji. There's no use with shush, shush. It doesn't work. Yeah, but where are we? 29 through 30. Okay. Okay. Maybe they can sit in the study room upstairs. That might be convenient. Mataji and her child maybe can take advantage of the study room. No, I was just thinking where the mother and her child could go. Now, lobby is, they can hear there, huh? Okay, good. And that's a good solution. And that's a good solution. They can watch on TV and he can run and jump and be happy. Okay. Mo Vishaye Gopi Goner Upapati Bhave Yogamaya Kodibeka Apano Prabhave Mo Vishaye Gopi Goner. Mo Bishaye, on the subject of me, Gopi Ganer, of the gopis, Upapati, of a paramour, Bhave, in the position, Yogamaya, Yogamaya, Lord Krishna's internal potency. Bodhibeka will make Apana her own, Prabhave, by the influence. The influence of Yogamaya will inspire the gopis with the sentiment that I am their paramour. Purport. Yogamaya is the name of the internal potency that makes the Lord forget himself and become an object of love for his pure devotee they know, yes, I have this much discretion, and this would be good. Let me do it. This is first-class management. Krishna doesn't have to personally do everything. What is that? Tasya karyam karanam chavidyate. The God doesn't have to do anything. Well, if he doesn't do anything, then what will happen? These energies will see to everything. So this is the spiritual world. Yogamaya has her own scope, her own, her own scope. So by her influence, apana prabhave, she makes all kinds of arrangements. She makes all kinds of. The residents all have great love and devotion for the personality of Godhead. And that's expressed within the framework of adoration. Just as the citizens may adore their king, so actually in a proper kingdom, the citizens will love their king. The king is giving us all protection. The king is solving all our problems. The king is making everything nice for us. He's representing the Lord in this way. So the citizens, when the king performs his prescribed duties nicely, the citizens are happy. Yes, we have such a nice king. And so love is there for the king. In Vaikuntha, that kind of love is expressed by the devotees for Lord Narayana in that respectful relationship. But this is not the highest stage of love for God. The highest stage is found in spontaneous feelings, not regimented or well-ordered, but spontaneous. Krishna spontaneously has love for the devotees in different relationships with them. And they spontaneously have love for him in the same relationships. Well, this is only possible by the intervention of Yogamaya, because for these relationships to take place, the devotees have to forget that Krishna is supreme and we're subordinate. In the attitude of dasya, service, then there may be some thought that Krishna is our master. But in friendship, there's equality. What makes you such a big man? We're as good as you. We're better than you. We're going to defeat you. We played, and fair and square we defeated you. Now you have to carry us on your shoulders. Such feelings are there. Friendly relationship. It's okay. Friendly relationship. No regard. There's a lower standard of friendship, like that of Arjuna, a little respectful. But in Vrindavan, no respect. No respect. Love between friend and friend. Friend, that means between equals. And Krishna enjoys the service rendered by his friends. Sometimes they massage his legs, sometimes they help in herding the cows, sometimes they sing very nicely, sometimes they joke with him, sometimes they play tricks on him. Oh, Krishna enjoys these feelings very much. And in the next relationship, parental love, the devotee feels superior to Krishna. Superiority rules. Sometimes the cowherd boys may boast, we're better than you, we're stronger than you. But the main thing is equality. But in parental love, we're superior. So we have to take responsibility. We have to protect Krishna, we have to feed Krishna, we have to see to protecting Krishna. We have to worry about Krishna. Not have to, they naturally want to. But they want to out of natural, spontaneous love, just like the mother wants to take care of the child. Not, I have to. Mother feels pleasure taking care of the child. And the child feels pleasure being cared for by the mother. How is it possible? Nityo Nityanam is the supreme eternal among all the eternals. But by the agency of Yogamaya, the devotee feels superior to that supreme eternal. And that supreme eternal feels subordinate to them. And by this arrangement, these intimate loving dealings become possible. Without Yogamaya's arrangement, just like when Krishna appeared in the prison house of Devaki, he appeared with Shankha Chakra, Gada Padma, 4 hands, helmet, everything. So the parents were a little, what's the word, in awe, respectful. But Yogamaya expanded her power so that they forgot. And they thought, oh, now Kamsa will come to kill you, what will we do? We have to make some arrangement. So Yogamaya automatically does this. When Yashodamaya was shown by the Lord all the universes in his mouth, struck with wonder, what am I seeing? Maybe my son has done this by some. But Yogamaya expanded herself, expanded her energy, so she thought, well, what is this nonsense? Shut your mouth and don't do these things. Well, this is Yogamaya's arrangement, because if the devotee is conscious that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then it's not possible. Prabhupada told the story that one time his son was playing on his lap, and one of Prabhupada's godbrothers was there. So he was teasing the son. oh, you're putting your feet on the body of a great Vaishnava. So the child said, what Vaishnava? He's my father. Or some astrologer came and told Jagannatha Mishra in a dream, I think. Some Brahmin came in a dream, and he told Jagannatha Mishra that your son is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and you're admonishing him this way, that way. And Jagannatha Mishra said, well, I don't know about all that, but he's my son, so I have to teach him how to act, otherwise he won't grow up right. And the Brahmin was very satisfied. This is so nice. The devotee is thinking himself to be in the superior, responsible position, and Krishna is feeling himself subordinate. He's fleeing out of fear of my mother may punish me. Then between Krishna and the gopis, there are amorous dealings, like those between a boyfriend and girlfriend. The Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains, I think it's in Purport to Brahma Samhita, that this relationship is supposed to be a relationship of illicit love. For any girl, actually, to have a boyfriend in Vedic culture is terrible. When Banasura discovered that his daughter was having a relationship with some boy, he was shocked. He was shocked. And the whole family's reputation would be spoiled. In America, if we hear that our daughter is very popular, and so many boys want to go out with her, then we're very happy. Oh yes, our daughter is popular. But in Vedic culture, it's abominable. Some girl is mixing with, our daughter is mixing with some boys. And what to speak of a married woman mixing with some young man? That's shocking in the extreme. The whole dharma of a woman is to be faithful to her husband, to serve the husband. And she's keeping a relationship with some other man. Even in America, this is grounds for divorce. And it's also very sinful, according to Vedic law, for a woman to be mixing with some man other than her husband is the most sinful thing for a woman. But so to engage in such a relationship is very risky. We can be rejected by our family, rejected by society. Our reputation will be completely ruined. We'll be acting sinfully. How can we do such a thing? But the gopis overstep those boundaries out of their intense love for Krishna. And Krishna also oversteps the boundaries of proper behavior, of decent behavior, by mixing with the waters of others. intense desire to associate with the gopis. So Saraswati Thakur explains that, of course, Krishna is the husband of all living entities. He's the master of everyone. But Yoga Maya creates this impression that the gopis are married to someone else. Because unless this impression is there, the fullness of the relationship cannot be manifest. There's a loving relationship, just like in Dwarka, Krishna has so many wives, and there are loving dealings with his wives, like Rukmini, Satyabhama, and so on. But these are decent. And Krishna's relationship with the gopis is, what's the word? Roguish. Krishna's behaving like a rogue by stealing other people's wives and mixing with them and corrupting them. But Saraswati Thakur, but there's a taste in that. When the lover and beloved overstep all the boundaries of social decency out of intense love for one another, then they feel that we're bound up in this relationship, regardless of what people think, regardless of any rules or regulations. Our love for one another is more important than anything. More important than the Vedic rules, more important than what society thinks, more important than what our family members think. More important than our reputations, more important than anything is our loving relationship. Even, what was that? The King of England? Who was that? Gave up the throne. Come on, you Brits. Which king is that?
King Edward?
You'll lose your citizenship. I forgot. I'm Americans. But anyway, you know the story that he fell in love with some commoner. And the Parliament objected. What is this? You have to make a choice between your duties as a king and your relationship with this common American woman. I would rather give up the throne of England than to live without the woman I love. Ready to sacrifice everything. So the gopis are ready to sacrifice everything for Krishna. And Krishna is ready to sacrifice everything for the gopis. So for this, the gopis have to be married, otherwise where's the question of overstepping boundaries? So Yoga Maya has to create those boundaries. Saraswati Thakur was saying. Yoga Maya has to create those boundaries so that Krishna and the gopis can overstep them. Just for the relationship. Just like in a play, the author has to arrange all the elements in such a way that there's drama. So Yoga Maya arranges this dramatic setting in which the gopis appear to be married. And they and Krishna appear to overstep all propriety. And by those arrangements, the gopis and Krishna experience this highest form of devotional service on the part of the gopis and reciprocation on the part of the Lord. They're not the sexual stuff of this material world. But it has to be there in the spiritual world, otherwise how could it be here in the material world? But Urdhva Natasha, the highest in the spiritual world is the lowest in the material world. In Bhagavad Gita, it's like a material world is like a tree with the roots up and the branches down. And the highest part becomes the lowest part. And the highest thing in the spiritual world is reflected as the lowest thing in the material world. Or the lowest thing in the material world exists in its pure form as the highest. Sometimes they criticize that Krishna is stealing other men's wives. And Prabhupada said, your wife also belongs to Krishna. You're the one who's stealing. Not quite sure why 2 verses, but Swami ho najani aha, na jani gopigan, tu har rupa gune, tu har nityo harimo. Neither the gopis nor I shall notice this. Neither of us will notice that Yogamaya is making these arrangements. For our minds will always be entranced by one another's beauty and quality. In the spiritual sky, the Vaikuntha planets are predominated by Narayan. His devotees have the same features he does. And the exchange of devotion there is on the platform of reverence. But above all these Vaikuntha planets is Goloka, or Krishna Loka, where the original personality of Godhead, Krishna, fully manifest his pleasure potency in free, loving affairs. Since the devotees in the material world know almost nothing about these affairs, the Lord desires to show these affairs to them, especially in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna Prema. In Goloka Vrindavan, there's an exchange of love known as Parakiras. It is something like the attraction of a married woman for a man other than her husband. In the material world, this sort of relationship is most abominable because it is a perverted reflection of the Parakiras in the spiritual world, where it is the highest kind of love and affair. Such feelings between the devotee and the Lord are presented by the influence of Yogamaya. The Bhagavad Gita states that the devotees of the highest grade are under the care of Daiva-maya, or Yogamaya. Mahatmanas Umanparta Daivim Prakritamashvata. Those who are actually great souls, Mahatmanas, are fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, always engaged in the service of the Lord. They are under the care of Daivi Prakriti, or Yogamaya. Yogamaya creates a situation in which the devotee is prepared to transgress all regulative principles simply to love Krishna. A devotee naturally does not like to transgress the laws of reverence for the Supreme Personality of Godhead influence of Yogamaya, he is prepared to do anything to love the Supreme Lord better. Those under the spell of the material energy cannot at all appreciate the activities of Yogamaya, for a conditioned soul can hardly understand the pure reciprocation between the Lord and his devotee. But by executing devotional service under the regulative principles, one can become very highly elevated and then begin to appreciate the dealings of pure love under the management of yoga. One doesn't reach this stage by jumping. Now I'm advancing, I can go beyond the regulative principles. But regulative principles are for the neophytes, but for those of us who are vasikas, we can set aside all the regulative principles. No, one achieves this stage by following the regulative principles. Not just by regulative principles, mercy is required, but by executing devotional service under the regulative principles, one can become very highly elevated and then begin to appreciate these dealings. In the spiritual loving sentiment induced by the Yogamaya potency, both Lord Shri Krishna, not any better now than before. All right, let's see. In the spiritual loving sentiment induced by the Yogamaya potency, both Lord Shri Krishna and the damsels of Braja forget themselves in spiritual rapture. By the influence of such forgetfulness, the attractive beauty of the gopis plays a prominent part in the transcendental satisfaction of the Lord, who has nothing to do with mundane sex. Because spiritual love of Godhead is above everything mundane, the gopis superficially seem to transgress the codes of mundane morality. This perpetually puzzles mundane moralists. Therefore, Yogamaya acts to cover the Lord and his pastimes from the eyes of mundaners, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 7:25, where the Lord says that he reserves the right of not being exposed to everyone. The acts of Yogamaya make it possible for the Lord and the gopis in loving ecstasy sometimes meet and sometimes separate. These transcendental loving affairs of the Lord are unimaginable to empiricists involved in the impersonal feature, the absolute truth. Therefore, the Lord appears before the mundaners to bestow upon them the highest form of spiritual realization and also personally relish its essence. The Lord is so merciful that he himself descends to take the fallen souls back home to the kingdom of Godhead, where the erotic principles of Godhead are eternally relished in their real form, distinct from the perverted sexual love so much adored and indulged in by the fallen souls in their diseased condition. The reason the Lord displays the Ādi-līlā is essentially to induce all the person who actually understands what the Ādi-līlā is will certainly hate to indulge in mundane sex life. For the realized soul, hearing the Lord's Ādi-līlā through the proper channel will result in complete abstinence from material sexual pleasure. Any question?
Thank you, Maharaj, for the special being in your association. I think you've actually answered the question reading the purport.
Wait a second.
Now the microphone usually makes things worse. Just speak loud.
There's a new sound system.
There's a new sound system.
So try it.
Let's try it.
Yeah, okay. I was just saying thank you, Maharaj.
But first you have to click the button, I think, or else you have to turn the volume up. Give it another try.
Remote.
No.
It's on now. It's on.
Is the lights on?
Yes, it's on. Channel 5.
Good.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much. It's always special being in your presence. I think the question has been answered through you reading the purport, but I'll ask anyway in case you can say some more. So in a world, in this world, what can we do to love Krishna like they would in Vaikuntha, given the lack of such a...
In this world, what can we do to love Krishna? What about Vaikuntha?
In the same way that...
In the same way as in Vaikuntha?
Yeah, given the sometimes lack of yoga maya. So like, we know Krishna is the supreme personality.
Apart from the sound system, I'm half deaf, and you're British besides. So, a little slowly and clearly.
Okay, I'll do my best. So in this world, what can we do to try and love Krishna
like the residents of Vaikuntha? What can those of us in this world do to love Krishna like the residents of Vaikuntha? And there's more to the question? Or is that it?
I've just got on to ask, due to the lack of influence of Yoga Maya here.
A lack of Yoga Maya here? No, Yoga Maya works here also. Yoga Maya Samarita, she covers the Lord from the vision of the ordinary mundaners. So Yoga Maya works here also. And also Yoga Maya helps the devotees here. So it's not that Yoga Maya only acts in Vaikuntha or only in Goloka Vrindavan. Yoga Maya works here too, and stated in the Bhagavad Gita. But what can we do to love Krishna like the residents of Vaikuntha? Follow the regulative principles strictly. That's how to reach that platform. Strictly following the regulative principles. This is the means of going to Vaikuntha. And to go to Goloka Vrindavan, one has to go still further, but not by skipping the regulative principles. If we skip the regulative principles, then nasasiddhim avapnoti nasukam naparamgati. We won't become perfect. We won't become happy, and we won't go back to Godhead. So, not that we can skip. No, I don't want to go to Vaikuntha. My target is Vrindavan. I'm a Gaudiya Vaishnava. I don't want to go to Vaikuntha. I want to go to Goloka Vrindavan, where Krishna is, the original personality of Godhead. So I'll skip the regulative principles, because they'll land me in Vaikuntha, and I'll go direct. No, wrong. One has to be elevated by following the regulative principles. And then, within oneself, one can appreciate these higher things. Otherwise, one will go down instead of up. Is that okay?
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yes, Janmashtami Prabhu.
It's a little unusual to this point that Krishna comes, is overcome by Yoga Maya Krishna's the supreme controller, but his Yogamaya potency also has an impact upon him. If you could elaborate on that a little bit.
Yes, Yogamaya, her business, first of all, Krishna, it's no fun being in a relationship where you have to manage all the appearances. If I have to manage all the appearances, then I can't abandon myself to the loving dealings. I have to think, now I have to make this happen, that happen, this happen, that happen, this happen, that happen. I have to make the birds sing, I have to make the moon shine, I have to create a nice breeze in Vrindavan, I have to do this, I have to do that. Then how will you enjoy the relationship? Therefore, the actor and the director are different. The director makes all the stage arrangements, all the lighting effects, all the other things that have to happen. And the actor just absorbs himself in the part. So Krishna doesn't have to deal with the direction. He just acts, and not in the mood of an actor who is pretending, but acting as himself to fulfill the desires of his devotees. So Yogamaya has to act in such a way for Krishna's pleasure that Krishna forgets I'm the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He forgets I'm the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He forgets I come in age after age to reestablish Dharma, the rules and regulations of the Vedas. No? So his potency arranges these things so that Krishna's enjoyment will be made possible. All of Krishna's energies are acting to serve the Lord and give pleasure to the Lord. So Yogamaya is serving that function. Is that okay?
From the Vedanta Sutra, I think it's the fourth shloka, Anandamaya Vyasat, so that Krishna is always seeking pleasure, and that's the facility.
Anandamaya Vyasat, Krishna is always seeking pleasure, yes.
And we share that capability, but we often do it in the wrong way. We share the, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's take advantage of the new sound system.
I turned it off so there wouldn't be any echo. Anandamaya Vyasat, this is the Vedanta Sutra, and Krishna is always seeking pleasure. So we share that same
pleasure means devotional service. Yeah. Outside of devotional service, outside the dealings of devotional service, there is no pleasure.
There's a lot of pain. A lot of pain.
Yeah, a lot of pain, but no pleasure. Outside of devotional service means in my diseased condition. In the diseased condition, how will you enjoy? Because my back is always giving trouble, I picked up a book on back care in India. Good book, actually, very, very good book. And it tells, why you have back pain, what to do about the back pain, and so on. And one part of the book, what to do about having sex when you're having back pain. How can you, how to lift boxes, you don't lift them this way, you squat and lift the boxes. So how do you have sex while you're having back pain? So these are the problems of the conditioned souls. It all comes down to this: how can I have sex while having back pain? can I enjoy? The answer is you can't. How can I enjoy eating when I'm nauseated? I can't. Or one has to come to the healthy condition, then enjoyment is there. But that enjoyment is the opposite of what we think. We think that enjoyment means how I'm going to dominate and bend the material energy in such a way that my desires will be fulfilled. Either by taking the dominant role or the subordinate role. How I'll arrange things in such a way that my desires will be fulfilled. That's the diseased mentality. And the pure mentality is how can I arrange things in such a way that Krishna's desires will be fulfilled. Atmendriya priti vansha talibhaki kaha Krishnendriya priti vansha tare emma. We're over time, yes.
One last point. One of my favorite lines on book distribution, they've got the book in their hand. This book will enable you to achieve the highest possible level of pleasure to a human being. Does it sound
This
right?
book will
enable you to achieve the highest possible level of pleasure for a human being. Does it sound okay? They always like that. It really works, and it's true.
That's true.
It's a big part of our philosophy.
That's true. Prabhupada said we don't have to make up anything, we just have to tell them what's in the books. All right. Thank you all very much. All glories to Shri Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Do we know each other? Never been. A little bit slow. A little bit see my hearing aids. Oh, I can school of back. That's the name of your. So it's basically it's a so first